Happy Thursday. Super happy and grateful to have you guys tune in with me for another Thursday night live session. We are going through this leadership goal series by the Maxwell team. Um, and it has just been amazing thus far. Our first week, we spoke about for everything you gain, you give up something. And that challenge for that week was to write down 5 habits that aren't beneficial to you, that you would like to let go of. And then also write down 5 habits that you feel like is going to be beneficial to you and you want to pick those up. Right? So that was the first week. And then our second week, we went into, which was last week, the toughest person to lead is always yourself. So we went through a couple of keys on how to lead yourself. Key number one being learn followership, paying attention to who you listen to. Understand that if you haven't followed well, then you have no right to lead. So going into number two, the second key was seeking accountability. Right there, we do that because we know good leaders know people who actually lead themselves know that the secret is they can't trust themselves. And why is that? It's because we know our own pain tolerance, right? If we were to go and pinch ourselves, we probably wouldn't put all of the effort in because we know our pain tolerance versus if we have someone else come and pinch us, they're going to go full force without even thinking without any hesitation because they don't know our pain tolerance, right? So transitioning into lesson 3, week 3 of this series, tonight we're talking about don't manage your time, manage your life. Don't manage your time, manage your life. Now, we all receive the same number of minutes in the day, right? But the difference between that, the difference maker is going to be how we spend those minutes that we get. So I want you guys to know nothing separates a successful person from an unsuccessful person more than how they use their minutes within the day. And smart leaders understand that time is the most precious commodity on earth. Now, I know there's a lot of time when we talk about the C-type goal and we don't worry about the time, we don't worry about how, but understand, again, it's how you're spending your time. Is maybe scrolling on social media or spending your time basking in the ambience of something that went wrong in your life, is that a good way to spend your time? So I want you to think about how you spend your time during your typical day. Which activities are you partaking in that seem to be the biggest time waster? Okay? So I'm going to just blank my video out for this session just because the wind is up. And sometimes using all the extras, the media, I don't want it to kind of yank out my Wi-Fi or just kind of start glitching. But just let me know if you guys don't hear me too well. So as you're thinking about how you spend your time throughout your day-to-day operations, and then you're starting to think about those activities that are the biggest time wasters, right? Now understand, we're going to get into time management, okay? So again, we're not managing our time, we're managing our life. And time management, it can be considered as an oxymoron. Because time continues whether you manage it or not. Okay? And it comes to you in the same increments no matter how fast you think or how fast you act. It's coming at the same time. So the important thing is not managing your time, however, managing the tasks that fill your time. I'll say that again. The important thing is not managing your time, but rather managing the tasks that fill your time. And by the end of this session tonight, I think you guys are going to be able to understand how to manage your life. in comparative time. So Henry David Thoreau, he says, it is not enough to be busy. The question is, what are we busy about? That might be a gut puncher. Because a lot of us might use the excuse of saying, well, I'm busy doing this, I'm busy doing that. I've been so busy, but what are you busy about? What did you get accomplished? And so, how do you judge whether something is worthy of your time and attention? I'm going to go over with you guys this 3-step formula that's going to help you know the importance of a task, right? So this way, again, going through this 3-step formula, for one, it's going to help you know the importance, but two, that way, because you know the importance of each task, now you can start to manage your life, manage yourself more effectively. So, step 1 of this 3-step formula is going to be rate the task in terms of its importance. So I've got the ratings for you, but step 1 is going to be rate the task in terms of its importance. So if it's critical, then that task gets 5 points. If it's necessary, it gets 4 points. If it's important, it's going to get 3 points. If it's helpful, it's going to get 2 points. And if it's marginal, it'll get 1. All right? So here, this is where you figure out why. Why are you doing this task? Why is this even a task for you? What's the purpose behind getting this done? Because then that's going to let you know if it's marginal, 1 point, helpful, 2 points, important, 3, necessary, 4, or critical, 5 points. Step 2. Here, we're going to decide the task urgency. All right? And this is going to be based off of when it must be done. Okay? So if it needs to be done, if the urgency of this task is this month, it's going to get 5 points. If it's next month, it's going to get 4 points. If it's this quarter, it'll get 3. If it's next quarter, it'll get 2. And if it doesn't need to be done until the end of the year, it's going to get 1 point. All right? So here, after you have the why, what the purpose behind this task is, then you're going to determine its urgency. From this month to next month to this quarter, next quarter, end of the year, you're going to break it down. How urgent is it? Now with step 3, we're going to multiply the rate of importance. So what did you rate that first step? How important was it? And then you're going to multiply it by the rate of urgency. So for example, if you have a task of writing a book, and this book is super important, it's pretty critical, so you gave it a 5. Now, it doesn't need to get done this month. It really needs to get done really by next month. I need this thing done by next month. If I'm trying to make things shake, it's got to be done by next month. So that's 4 points. So I do 5 times 4, that's a 20. So From there, you will then take that 20, that number, whatever number you come up with, and judge it. You'll judge when you should complete the task. All right? This will let you know when it should be completed for sure. So if you got a number between 16 and 25, that's a critical task that needs to be finished by the end of this month. So we're going into October, so by the end of October. If you got a number between 9 and 15, it's an important task to be finished by the end of the quarter. And if you got a number between 1 and 8, this is a low priority task. It can be done by the end of the year. Right? Manage the task of your life, and you will make most of your time. You're going to make the most of the time. So, something that I do when it comes down to these tasks, right? I have this book where it says Chelsea's projects. And I include myself. What personal projects do I have going on? What projects or tasks do I have in the military that need to be done? What are some tasks or projects that I have going on with chess, with my business Eminence Guru, with my trucking business? From there, then I list out these tasks, things that can be done, right? Whether that is, reading up on reviewing Luke's mentorship again, or maybe finding some government contracting jobs, or maybe making sure I'm going to the gym at least 4 times a week. Scheduling some duty for military that I have required that needs to be knocked out. Creating batch content. Things of this nature here that I'm listing in each category, right? And then I grab a task, I pick a task, right? Because there's so many things to do, so much to do. But remember, it's not enough to be busy. It's what are we busy about? So I go through the 3-step formula. Well, let's rate the task in terms of its importance. How important is it? Right? So let's just say going to the gym 4 times a week. Well, how important is that to me? I'd say it's pretty necessary. It's between important and necessary, so I'll put it as necessary. So that's 4 points, right? All right, well, how urgent do I need to start this for at least 4 times a week? Well, this must be started and being done, this month. I've got to get to it this month. I got to be going 4 times a week this month. I got to make time for myself, for my health. So that's 5 points. So now I'm going to take the rate of importance, which is my 4, and times it by the rate of urgency, which is 5. So 4 times 5, that's 20. That means this is a task that's super critical, and I need to be doing it starting this month. And by the end of the month, I need to look back and see that I went to the gym 4 times a week. Is this making sense? Writer John Burroughs, he says, I still find each day too short. For all the thoughts I want to think, for all the walks I want to take, for all the books I want to read, for all the friends I want to see. I still find this day, each day, too short. And it's going to happen. But understand, don't manage your time, manage your life. I've started out, and sometimes it takes you just managing your time to get to your life part, right? But now that you know how to manage your life, like for me, I started out with, okay, these are the things I know I want to do throughout the day, so I'm going to give myself an hour and a half to work on something of that, in that capacity. But then I was just managing my time, and I was busy, but I had to make sure, yes, the task I was doing, say for instance, from 8 to 11, I'm trading, and then from 1 to 2:30, I'm studying some type of chess or something, right? And then it keeps going on and going. And then maybe I take a lunch break between 11 and 1, and so on and so forth, right? But while trading, did I get something accomplished, right? Is there a task within trading? Was there something I need to do? Did I hop on a call? Did I, study my rules? If I'm studying chess, did I learn something from it? Did I create a new lesson plan? Did I find something new that I can teach someone else? What are you busy about? What do you have to do right now in that area of your life that's super important that needs to get done? So as you manage the task of your life, understand you will make the most of your time. Okay? So when setting your schedule, how are you going to determine where to spend your time? What were you doing before this call that now after this call you probably won't do anymore? You'll probably start maybe picking up the 3-step formula, right? How can you guard your calendar so that you can carve out time to think about the bigger picture? Well, one thing that helped me was this little notebook where I put out Chelsea's, projects. That was my way to guard my calendar because I knew if I kind of carved out that time to think of the bigger picture, I was able to write down and evaluate myself. Okay, what is Chelsea working on right now? Or what does the U.S. Air Force have that I need to get knocked out? Or what is Eminence Guru? Where is Eminence Guru lacking it right now? Where can I help it out a little bit more? How can I be more of an asset to that project? So manage your life. Don't manage your time. Time continues whether you manage it or not. And it's going to come to you in the same increments, no matter how fast you think, how fast you act. So instead of managing your time, manage the tasks that fill your time. All right, guys, that concludes our session for tonight in the Leadership Goals series by the John Maxwell team. Super great series, so much more to learn. Right now, we've been really working on ourselves, right? We learned first that for everything you gain, you must give something up. Then you got into the toughest person to lead is always yourself. And now we're talking about how we can manage our life instead of manage our time. All right, we're peeling back the layers. We're taking our time. We're going to make sure we're effective and efficient first, and then we'll get into, once we can lead ourselves by finding, going in the flow of followership, finding us a mentor or coach, seeking accountability. Once we work on ourselves, then we can lead others, right? We're being good followers in order to be good leaders. So have a happy Thursday. Thanks for tuning in with us. We hope to see you next Thursday to continue this leadership goal series. It truly, truly is amazing. I cannot wait to teach you guys more. And in the meantime, remember to see the future, create your world, unleash your power, and most of all, claim your blessings. See you guys.